Stephanie Mielke here, aka KetoMom, or often called mom, sis, Steffi, daughter, wife, aunt, and friend. Just like many of you, I carry a lot of titles. My favorite title is mom. I should probably say wife, which takes a lot of my time. But let's be honest, if you want to do something and do it well, you will make the time for it. Commitment is hard because we find ourselves overcommitted, but when you practice prioritizing, you will find out what is actually important and what you can let go. With the KetoMom podcast, you will learn together how to manage our time, commit to the most important things in life, and I will equip you with the tools you need to feel qualified each step of the way. My name is Stephanie Mielke, and welcome to the KetoMom Secrets podcast. Hello, welcome to the KetoMom page. My name is Stephanie, and I have a lot of things I want to talk about. So I just labeled this a Sunday chat on the KetoMom page. So as you're tuning in, tell me where you're tuning in from. And on Sundays, I love to talk about a prep day. What is your week going to look like? Preparing your meals. Are you prepared to have an incredible week? Are you going to dominate your health? Like, there's things I want to talk about. And then there's things I've learned in the last 24 hours. We had the opportunity to, our church does every quarter, they call it a grow leader. They bring somebody in to speak to us. And so it's, I guess, a grow leader weekend is what they call it. And so we had a pastor from El Paso, Texas come up, and I don't remember his church's name, but he was incredible. And he talked a lot about mindset. So I wanted to share some of that with you today. So as you're tuning in, tell me where you're tuning in from. I'm tuning in from Minnesota. I haven't been live since we were in Florida. So we've been traveling a ton. We started doing lives a couple days ago. It might have been probably Wednesday, of a book that my husband and I are writing. And we're calling the book Awareness Revolution. And so if you've been tuning into those lives, we'll continue that tomorrow about awareness, which I think is one of the key things that just people need in general to be able to shift their life, to go in a different direction. Until you have awareness of what you do not know, and then you know it, you have the opportunity to make a choice. And it starts with awareness and your mindset. And so we dive into that in our book that we are writing, and it's almost done. We'll continue that tomorrow. If you're brand new, I'd love to get to know you. So post new below. I'd love to send you a message. Thank you for tuning into the KetoMom page. Tell me, how is your Sunday going? And are you prepped to have a successful week? I would love to know. Who prepares their meals? Do you prep? Do you go to the grocery store? This is just a reminder to you. And everybody is different. Everybody has different schedules. But in general, I say I like to use Sundays as a prep day. So I looked at my refrigerator, I looked at my freezer, I went to the grocery store. I have our meals planned for this week. Our meals include chicken tacos, regular tacos. We grill meat on the air fryer, vegetables, and salad. So it's very, very simple. But I have all of our groceries. So we do not have an excuse that we don't have any food. I've already planned it. And so oftentimes I'll go into more detail of prepping and planning, but here's your reminder for the day. The reminder is, if you plan, take a little bit of time, go through what you have, plan out your meals, you're less likely to go through the drive-through or just give up because you already have a plan. So how many of you are prepared to dominate your week? If you are not, when you're done on here, take a little bit of time. My encouragement to you is, and just give yourself 30 minutes. And are your workout clothes clean? Have you picked up the house a little bit to feel like I'm going to have a great week? Like, there's so many little things you can do to own your week and to go after the target, to go after your focus, to hit those goals if you take some time to plan. So I've already done it. My encouragement to you is to do the same. Also, something that, hey, at any point in time, you can go to ketomomsecrets.com, click on recipes, and there's tons of different things there for you. But I have a thought for you today. Oh, you have trouble planning. All right. Okay. So Nancy says, I have trouble planning meals. Here's what I like to tell people. Proteins and veggies, proteins and a salad. Like, don't overthink it. If you intermittent fast, which is you don't eat breakfast, great. Push breakfast meals off to lunch. Sausage and eggs, right? Or omelet, or something super simple. A dinner, a meat and a veggie, or a salad, or a low-carb wrap pizza, or tuna fish, egg salad, grill some chicken tacos. Like, I think oftentimes I think people get so overwhelmed because they get so overwhelmed with like these perfect meals. And I'm like, just make some food. Eat something that's going to fuel your body. Drink your water. Don't overcomplicate these recipes. If you try to have an entire recipe book full of recipes that include like 30 different ingredients, you're probably not going to make it. So think about some whole food, high protein, grab some vegetables, grab a salad, eat your dinner, enjoy your dinner, and continue on. I don't know if that's helpful. Just don't overthink it. So one meal could be a breakfast meal. One meal could be a dinner meal. So KetoMom.com, click on recipes if you want some recipes. Maybe you love being in the kitchen and you're like, I love to make something that has 30 ingredients. Awesome. Some of you do not. Which, by the way, let's do this. Regardless if you have planned out your week, if you had to share below one meal that you're making this week for dinner, share below what it is. Listen, breakfast is simple. Eggs and sausage. Get an air fryer. Throw it in the air fryer if you're a breakfast eater. Out the door you go, right? Lunch. Grab a salad. Put some chicken on your salad. Grab a low-carb wrap or a lettuce wrap. Deli meat and cheese. Grab some vegetables like egg salad, tuna fish salad, anything. Simple. I think it's dinner is where people get like, I don't know what to make. So if you could do me a favor, I would love it if you would post one dinner that you have planned either in your mind or actually in your refrigerator or in your freezer for this week. We're having tacos. We have tacos every week. Beef tacos or chicken tacos. We'll probably have both. It's very simple, very easy, great for leftovers. So that's our meal of choice. I also grabbed brats and burgers, plenty of vegetables, and my kids love Caesar salads. So that's what we have in our fridge. And eggs and sausage and turkey bacon. So that's on our menu for the week. I want you to share with me one thing below. So it's not just me yapping. What's a meal you're having this week? Because it can give everybody else some ideas as well. All right. Excuse me. I sound super congested. I don't know why I am, but I am. So here is a couple thoughts for you that I have listened to from the pastor from El Paso, Texas, that was here in Minnesota preaching to and sharing with our congregation. And he says this, oftentimes people, and he's talking about all areas of your life. So I'm going to go a different direction now, but it ties to the KetoMom page. People often tell me, hey, I've tried every diet. I've tried all of the things. I just quit all the time, or I gave up. And this pastor said, people will come to him and they want to quit in different areas of their life. And he said this, he goes, if you quit, will it help you in your life in any of the places that you're challenged in? Will you get better if you quit? And it's something I want to ask you. Excuse me. Oftentimes people will say, I'm going to go try something different. I'm going to go try this diet. And I like to say this, the diet that's going to work for you is the one you stick with long term. But also, if you quit today, is it going to make any of your life better if you quit? Quitting doesn't not help. Quitting helps nothing. Zero. Zilch. And oftentimes you might be frustrated, but guess what? You're either going to break down and give up, or you're going to break through. So that's what he talked about. He's like, people do one of two things when they feel pressure. Some of you might feel pressure in losing weight. You're on the KetoMom page, right? So I feel pressure. I need to get healthy. I maybe had something medically that came up that I have the pressure to get healthy, or I feel pressure because of. Either you're going to do one of two things. You're going to break down and give up, or you're going to break through. And how do we get through that breakthrough? How are you going to break through that mindset of, I might just give up. I might quit. So I loved that he talked about this with our congregation, because it's something that we talk a lot about on the KetoMom page. I will 100% give you recipes and tell you how to eat. But if you do not focus on your mindset, and if you do not focus on what you're actually thinking about, then the likelihood of you actually reaching your goals is unlikely. You might think, Stephanie, you are a broken record. And I have to say, it is the one thing that if you can understand, so he talked a lot about different things. He goes, all right, You're going to either get broken down or you're going to break through, right? What are you focusing on? Do what you know you need to do. So sometimes people will say, Stephanie, I just want to lose weight. I'm like, awesome. If you never listen to me ever again, or anybody else that you follow, you probably know what you need to do. If I were to say, okay, how do you lose weight? Somebody tell me. Give me some examples. If I were to say, all right, Cindy or Jen or Melissa or Nancy or Hannah, what is one thing you need to do to lose weight? Sarah Larson. What is one thing you need to do to lose weight, to get healthier? We all know what we need to do, and everything that we talk about, whether it's preparing for the week, planning your meals, working on your mindset, going to the gym. He talked a lot about breaking through the barriers that come up against you that make you want to quit. There's one word that will legitimately help in all of these different areas. Even if you want a better marriage or better relationships or better finances, there's one word that needs to be worked on in all of these areas. You want me to tell you the word? It's not a sexy word. It's not glamorous. In fact, it's hard, it's tedious, and it very well could be boring. But when you look at other people that have what you have, and that have achieved what you have wanting to achieve. If you're looking at people in your life and you're like, wait, I want to be healthy like that. I want a marriage like that. I want to be strong like that. I want to be successful. I want to have better financial freedom. I want to be a great parent. Like whatever it is, that person that you're watching most likely has this one word. And this one word isn't something that you fall naturally into. This one word is called discipline. And the word discipline is not glamorous. And it is not a sexy word. It is not fun. It's tedious. It can be tiring, and it very well can be boring. But if you truly want to achieve something in your life, guess what? It takes discipline. And how do we become disciplined? We take our mind captive. We control our thoughts. Have you ever thought about what you're thinking about? Do you think about your thoughts? Because if you are in a negative mind space, and I am blessed to coach a lot of people in business, in personal life, on the KetoMom page, and there are a lot of people who are getting it, who understand that their thoughts become things. And there are a lot of people who don't. And they let their mindset become a rabbit trail of negativity, and all of the inputs that are coming in are controlling their mind, and then they're believing the things their mind is thinking. And while it's not true, I want you to hear this. Let me see if I wrote it down. When you think of something for a certain amount of time, when you think of something, regardless if it's true or not, your thoughts become things in your mind, and then you believe them, even if they're not true, and they become your truth, and you operate out of this. And if this is negative and defeating and disempowering, and if you're constantly going, I can't and I won't and it will never be me, and you're pointing fingers and you're looking at all the negative, guess what you're going to get in life? What you think about. There are studies, it is scientific, it is biblical, that your life is going to reflect and start with your thoughts. So I've said this before. If you have not memorized it, if you've not heard me say it, my encouragement to you is memorize this and truly internalize it. As I think, so I feel. As I feel, so I do. As I do, so I have. There is nothing more that I can teach you that I have learned in my life. Well, let me rephrase that. I would say this. If there's one thing I put above everything, even mindset and awareness, is your spiritual walk. So I'm not going to go down that route at the moment. There's one thing that for sure can change your entire life. And we could have a separate conversation about that. Spiritually, I'd ask you where you're at. But all of that, like spiritually, if you're not focused, if I don't really know how to phrase that at the moment. Like, okay, that's my truth, right? If somebody doesn't have a strong spiritual life and they're just kind of floating out in their own, let me think of how I want to say this. if you're trying to do life by yourself and you don't truly have a spiritual walk, I believe that's number one. Now, not everybody's ready for that. I will tell you, if you don't want to look at it spiritually, the number one thing that I can teach you in losing weight, in feeling better, in taking your life back, in helping you with your relationships. Like, I can teach you how to prep your food. I can say, hey, eat that, don't eat that. I can say, go for a walk, shut off the TV, right? Drink your water, put down the pop, plan your meals, stop scrolling through social media, shut off the news, listen to a good podcast. Like, there's things you can learn and implement. But if you do not get this one thing, hands down, the awareness around your mindset and what you're thinking will change the rest of your life. And it first starts with you thinking about what you're thinking about. And then I want you to think about this. What am I allowing into my mindset? What am I listening to? What am I reading? And who am I watching? What am I listening to? The music that you're listening to. What am I reading? Is it adding value to my life or worry and fear? What am I watching? Excuse me. Is what I'm watching adding value to my life or worry or fear? Some of you need to shut the news off at night because you go to bed thinking the world is falling apart. Like, if something in the news actually you need to be told it, somebody will tell you on the street, at work, you'll find out about it. A majority of it is a lie. So shut off the TV, and I actually want you to start thinking about what you think about, or realizing that your mind is ultimately how your life appears, what you have in your life, the life you're living today came from this. As I think, so I feel. As I feel, so I do. And as I do, so I have. You have what you have today as a result of the actions, which come from a feeling, which comes from a thought. And if you do not control this, and if you're not aware of this, and if you do not think about what you're thinking about and then start to change it, this will become your truth in a negative way, and that's the life that you will live. So, man, I mean, his name was Pastor Jared Neiman, and he just had an incredible outlook, and he just talked about discipline and how it's not glorious. And oftentimes we look at what people have, and you're like, how did they get that? And they would say, I was disciplined. I got up when others wanted to sleep in. I went to the gym when other people made excuses. I did the things no matter what, even when I didn't feel like it. I packed my lunch, even though I wanted to go out to eat. I said no to the donut, even though when I sat and think about this. He gave an example. He's like, you want to know what happens as Monday comes and you're so excited and you're like, I'm going to start. It's a Monday and I'm on track to lose weight and I feel great and I've got my lunch packed and I'm incredible. And all of a sudden an email come across my desk from accounting, and the accounting head leader says, hey, happy Monday, everybody. I brought everybody donuts. They're in the employee lounge. And you're like, no, I packed my lunch. And you're sitting at your desk. And the whole time now your mind is going, but hold on a second. There's a donut in there for me and I want the donut. And that donut would taste great. And then you have to go, no. It's in that moment that the discipline needs to kick in. The disciplined person, the one that you're watching, the person that you're seeing going, I would love to have that, doesn't walk into the employee lounge, right? The disciplined person packs their lunch, might eat some boring meals. They might go on a walk instead of watch Netflix, right? They decide to save their money instead of go out on a Friday night because they want to be financially free. So I have been hearing a couple words from a lot of different people that I like to learn from, and it has been a repetitive theme of discipline, awareness, mindset, and there are a lot of people talking about the power of your mind. And if you can learn to control it and take your thoughts captive, and if you can learn to realize that like this controls a lot of your life, and you can learn how to follow great people, read good books, be around right people. Like if you want to elevate your life, if you want to have success, whatever that means to you, guess what? 2 of the most important things in your life are going to be the books that you read and the people that you're around, the people that you watch, the people that you learn from. And if you find yourself not in a great environment or not around great people, you don't have to unfriend them, but go find somebody else to learn from. That is the number one thing on the Keto Mom page that I could share with you is your mindset is important. And so discipline is important. It's what you watch. It's what you listen to. It's what you read. It's the people that you're around. And it's realizing and start thinking about the things you're thinking about. And I know I've said the same thing over and over again. And somebody, I am believing, is going to hear it for like the 17th time and it's going to click. It took me years of learning mindset stuff to realize, to actually put it into practice, and years of realizing how to take your thoughts captive or not believing everything that I hear or being okay with other people thinking that I'm crazy when I know I'm not, and realizing what's super important and not being a people pleaser, but also doing what's best for your health or your life or your family. I'm kind of going down a rabbit trail, but I don't know. Those are my random, I do know. Those were some random thoughts for today. I've had an incredible weekend. It is going to be a really great week. If you have questions about anything, you can ask them below. Homeschooling, parenting, food. If I have an answer, I will answer it. Excuse me. If I don't, I'll find an answer. I'll give you a resource. So whatever it is that you need, ask below. Continue to tune into the page, whether it is ketomomsecrets.com, click on recipes, click on book club, click on trials. I send out ketones every day. I drink ketones every day. I have for 8 years. Those are my tool of choice. I think they're incredible. Otherwise, if you need a community, tune in here. If you just need some support and guidance, tune in here, shut off the news, or find somebody that you're like, I would love to know what they're doing, and ask them to mentor you. So your journey to being the better version of you, the healthier, the wiser, a better parent, a better spouse, starts with your mindset, awareness, and discipline. And you can totally do it. And you're not too old and you're not too young. Like, you have today to start. You have tomorrow to keep going. The only way you fail is if you quit. If you have a day where you're like, oh my goodness, today wasn't a great day, you get back up and keep going. So thank you for tuning in. Your presence matters. I'd love for you to press the share button. Sharing is caring. And if you're just tuning in, we talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about preparing for the week and mindset. Whatever came out of my mouth, that's what we talked about. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll continue on my book tomorrow, which is called Awareness Revolution. I'm hoping it'll be ready in the next month. I was just revising chapter 5 on our way home from Florida 2 days ago. It's a lot of work, but it's great. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.